Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium and welcome to Always Remember Me. So I'm not sure whether this has recently gone onto some sort of big platform, say Steam, but about 10 people have requested me to play this, which is more than normal considering I haven't asked for any recommendations. So I thought, fuck it, I'll give it a go, what's the worst that could happen? So here we are. And the background music has singing. I hope this is only a title menu feature. Show interface tutorial, skip interface tutorial. Let's just go with it, just in case it's not the RenP default bollocks. Click right mouse. Yes, I know this. Oh shit, what did it say there about control? No, we don't need that. On the left status is the status panel. Like, this is just generic RenP stuff, isn't it? At the top is the current date and time of day. Is this a tutorial for people who aren't that, how do I say this? Got much meat in the brain. People who have just none of it at all. Yes, each day is split into 7 parts. Dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, sunset, and night. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of parts. It's not just 3. Each part represents 1 game turn. Amy will automatically go back home at night every day to sleep. Unless we, get up with someone and then we're at someone else's house to sleep. Below you can see the 4 main statistics: culture, creativity, romance, and discipline. Oh my god, I don't want any of that. Alright, well, out of those stats, creativity seems like the best. Discipline? We're not in fucking North Korea. We don't need any of that. I'm the least cultured person ever. Because normally culture blends into art, and art is just bleh. You can raise these statistics. Yes, very cute. Below them is a chibi representing Amy's current mood. Her clothes better change if mine do. Tries to the wall, that doesn't happen. Lastly, the morale and energy values are important since they affect your work performance and oh, okay, we know this regardless. Right, gotcha. Difficulty for experienced players. You might just want... Can we go back to see what that last thing said? The game has 8 different... Alright, so we know all of this. This is generic visual novel stuff. I'm aware of how visual novels work. Jesus Christ. I've had a channel on them for about a year, so it'd be scary if I didn't by now. Alright, let's go easy difficulty, just because we don't want... Yeah, we don't want to have to do it again. Let's put it that way. Standard intro. We were walking together hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. Oh my god. Am I dating a happy emo? Or is that hair just standard in this game? Yeah, well, regardless, I still look like Ariel, so he can't be much weirder than I am. The evening was wearing on, and the warm colours is without a U, of twilight was starting to fade from the sky. I'm called Amarantha. I sound like a spider. Is there a mermaid spider which comes around? Like, it doesn't actually have 8 legs, it just has 8 fucking, like, flippers. Oh, that's already a horrible thought. I don't know what to do. Why is there an ice cream on the top left of the chat box? You're doing enough, don't worry about things so much. But he still doesn't approve of me. Do you think he doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks it doesn't earn enough money. Or that I should be doing something better. I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I could find. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. But it looks like he's behind me. He looks down and sees my worried expression? I know he feels bad that his father, Osher, was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn. Stay with him. Okay, so we've got a high expectation dad for emo kid. Gotcha. I know some people that think I could do better. It's not like a job at an ice cream parlor or is anything special. Alright, well, I know why the ice creams are there. I'm attending my first year of college. Is this college or university? Oh, American games! Oh, was this back when Jack wrote his own visual novels? I'm not sure it is. I don't think it's that old. Let's assume that it is. That college is actual college and not university, because you Americans confuse that way more than necessary. First year in college for creative writing. It's a natural fit since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I had to take a part-time job during summer to pay for my studies. Some girls in my class have really good summer jobs. Honestly, I don't think he'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading first. I don't think it's anything personal, he's just being stubborn. Yes, but after all this time, I really thought that he would have warmed to me by now. Well, how long's it been? Has it been like 2 weeks? Has it been years? He just doesn't understand that we're serious about our relationship. Or he doesn't want to understand. It's just so exasperating, since everyone else has been so supportive of us. Well, I mean, friends are going to be, just by default. You can't expect his dad to be. I mean, we need to find out more about his dad. He'll come around eventually, it's just a matter of time. I hope so, I just wish he wouldn't object almost every time he finds out we're going out on a date. I know, but it'll get better soon, I promise. We reached the staircase that led back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. He has a motorcycle? Well, a motorbike for normal people. That seems incredibly edgy for a guy like him. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned around to face me. He took my other hand in his and leaned down gently, kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly, feeling my anxiety melt away. He kneeled down? Did that say he kneeled down? Leaned down. Oh, okay, this is patronising, gotcha. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. Amy is a better name than Amarantha. And I sound less diseasey. I returned the smile and leaned up to kiss him again. Have you seen how tall he is? Oh, and now we're the same height! Before you had to lean down to get to my lips, but now we're the same height again. Jesus Christ, I think I'd have to... Am I just constantly jumping? Am I suspended in the air, like a foot off the ground? Probably. You're such a romantic. You make it sound like a bad thing. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand. This is definitely how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side. Nah, don't be saying that too much. I know how this goes. Let's go home, alright? Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything, you know. Sure. If it's a big corporate place, they probably give you 5%. 2.5% if you haven't worked there for 2 weeks. They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. We should split one. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorcycle and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding on tightly. I rested my head against his broad shoulders and let up a contented sigh escape my lips as the engine started up. How old do I look there? Like, hang on. I look so weird there. What the hell? What are my eyes doing? I've never been on the back of a motorbike. I've been on the back of a moped, but is that what your eyes do? Jesus Christ, look like a Stephen Merchant. Oh, well. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon and the darkness of night began to overtake the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute and on to the nearly empty road that led back to the town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. We were only driving for a short while before a strange feeling of foreboding? I don't know what that is. Settled over me. I shivered involuntarily despite the warm temperature and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for us for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We waited patiently for the light to change colour is supposed to have a... And when the green circle led off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving. We had just entered the intersection when very suddenly I heard it. What? I looked up, eyes wide with confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, swerving back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the red light and collided with us. All I remembered before the hellacious sound of the crash and the losing consciousness was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. We're probably in hospital. See, that's why I said don't get comfortable. And this is where my knowledge of the plot stops. I know nothing beyond this. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of the lights above me were almost blinding. I thought I'd never spent very much time in a hospital. I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar to what one smelled in a doctor's office. Disinfectant? I assume your doctor's office isn't a GP. Where am I? I'm in a different change of clothes. Doctors, what have you been up to? I'm watching you all, bastards. It took me another moment of waiting for my eyes to adjust to the bright lights before I remembered what had happened. My eyes widened in horror at the vividness of the memory. Aaron! I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. Okay, so I'm not in my clothes. I'm in a patient nurse clothes. Am I scarred there, or is that just very weird sudden white lighting? Let's just say it's dead skin, sure. Oh my god, I'm so thin when it comes down there. And then, like, it opens so wildly at the hips. Holy shit, I'm like Shakira's cousin or something. I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out in the hallway heard my sudden cry and quickly hurried inside my room. For someone who's hurrying, you look awfully calm. Miss, please lay back down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash, but we would like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I will be looking after you until that time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet. We were in a car accident, right? Motorcycle accident, but sure. There's something about you which is creepy. I think it's you look like a man. I don't know what it is about you. It's odd. This better not be a weird twist later on. We don't want another trap on our hands. That's correct, but please lay back down. We're very glad to see you conscious, but the rest is imperative. I reluctantly lay back down, but I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I heard a proper explanation. Can you tell me what happened? What about the man who was with me? Aaron, is he okay? The nurse's expression seems to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more. What happened, I have to know. Her expression still seems like oddly, I don't know, happy. I'm not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything to you. Oh, glorious. We've got someone who's still in love with an alien who kills everyone. Ha! StarCraft 2. I walked impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few moments for a handsome young man in a doctor's uniform to enter the room. Now, there is something definitely wrong with you. Your nose is way too far away from your mouth. I mean, it's not even vaguely in the middle. Like, have you been performing plastic surgery on yourself, Dr. Rayner? He's looking very young as well. I was surprised to see that he wasn't much older than Aaron, and I, most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Well, guess who's a dating option later? Good evening, Amy. I'm glad to see that you're awake. My name's Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie. No, I'll call you Doctor. The man said with a warm smile, revealing perfectly white teeth. Oh, he's not English. Yes, good evening. What time is it? Is it still Saturday? Actually, it's technically Sunday. It's 3 in the morning. I'd be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon. I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron. The young doctor's smile faded, his reaction much like the nurse's. Unable to hold back my growing worry, I find myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes. That's not tear gathered in your eyes. That's somewhat more extreme than that. I have to know what happened to him. Please, is he alright? What are those exclamation marks? I mean, they look like shovels or very, very long, rather weird, umbrellas. Eddie stood up and nodded toward the door, motioning for me to follow. I felt my heart sink, then begin to fill with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you he's fine and his life is in no danger. He has sustained a head injury, he will recover, and it doesn't seem to have done any severe damage, but he has lost some of his memories. We're still trying to observe the specifics of just what he has forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me, I can take you to him so you can see if he's alright. I hurried, pulling on the pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed after the young doctor as he led me out of the hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word he said. From what I could tell, he was trying to protect you from during the crash. We're keeping you overnight for observations, but other than some bruises, you're perfectly okay. You don't have any broken bones or severe internal bleeding, thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart wrench as I followed him through the hallways. He wasn't walking very quickly, apparently conscious of how tired I felt. Aaron. From what we can tell, Aaron is suffering from amnesia. He still retains long-term memories, but recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. See, and this is where we remember that he has forgotten me. In case anyone hasn't gotten that, you should have. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, so we want to be sure not to cause him any unnecessary emotional stress. We need him to regain his memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps. I see. This is my studio. I know this is a lot for you to take in, so please feel free to ask me any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't recall anything from recent years. You mean he doesn't remember me? I'm sorry, we asked him about having a girlfriend, but doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name Amy. I felt the tears I'd been determined not to cry welling up again, ready to fall. I see. We walked through the doorway and into the room with a glass window that let me see into Aaron's room. Now we're spying on him. This is available in hospitals? I didn't think you were allowed to do this anymore.